Hi everyone, my name is Vince Gauman. Thank you so much for visiting my channel. We are the never-ending, never-beginning wonder of life. We are the never-ending, never-beginning wonder of life. We are the stars. We are the stars. In fact, the stars are the neurons of the cosmic mind. The stars are the neurons of the cosmic mind. That is our mind in truth. That is our mind. And when we open enough through our healing, through our awakening, when we open enough, we open to that cosmic mind. What actually happens is that those stars of the cosmic mind merge with our human neurons. So the neurons of the cosmic mind merge with our human neurons. There's a fusion, and now we are operating as humans from that cosmic mind. We are operating from that divine intelligence to that unbounded intelligence, that unbounded love, the infinite love and light and truth we are, the oneness we are, where there's just no limits to what's possible. It is a profound realization. It is a profound realization to know that, to feel that, to know it as the truth of who we are. And what's happening now is we are in a global rite of passage to awaken more and more to this truth, the truth that we are cosmic beings of light. And so we must endure this global confusion so that we can expand and commune with the cosmic mind we are. We must go through this global confusion so that we can experience cosmic union. It is a necessary passage that we're all going through at this time. And what I want to share with you is that no matter what happens, no matter how bad it gets, no one can take this essential primordial truth, the truth of who you are, no one can take that away from you. No one can reduce you to who you are not. No one can quarantine you. In essence, no one can quarantine the cosmic essential being you are. No one can quarantine your sovereignty. You are free by nature. You are free by the essence of who you are. So no one can take that away from you, no matter what. And so we are going through this incredibly challenging rite of passage that is only going to intensify. And the reason why this is necessary, if I am to bring in a metaphor, and I love metaphors, as you might know, the reason why this is necessary, this very intense, chaotic time that's only going to get worse, more intense, is because we as a collective field of consciousness are like a seed buried in the ground, in the deep, dark soil. We are like a seed as a collective buried in the deep, dark soil. And we've been there for a long, long time. This age of darkness has been going on for thousands of years. And we're still in the age of darkness, though we are slowly coming out of it now. So we're in the dark. We're in the dark as a collective seed in that dark soil. And as you know, there's a lot of people in the world who simply are not ready to open to the light of truth. They aren't interested in hearing alternative views of what's going on. They're not interested in information that does not come from the mainstream media. They believe what they're hearing through the mainstream, what they consider as scientific, and they are stubborn. The shell of that seed is strong, it's stubborn, it's thick, it's I don't want to hear it. I want to remain in ignorance. So the collective consciousness is not ready yet to open, to break open. And so what's happening is that there needs to be a certain amount of pressure, a growing amount of pressure which is the increasing chaos, the increasing confusion, which will be increasing fear and anxiety and hopelessness and powerlessness. There needs to be an increasing amount of pressure on that collective seed so that it cracks and so that it slowly breaks open and it opens to new life, new consciousness. It can break free. And that's what's going to happen. There has to be this increasing pressure. Now, we are all at different stages. If we look at this metaphor of the seed, some of us individually, because everybody is their own seed sprouting. We're all in our own unique stage of sprouting awareness. So some people are sprouting through the soil. They haven't broken through, they haven't pierced the soil into the light, but they are coming out of the darkness. Some people are just piercing through into the light. Some people are really on their way into blossoming into a beautiful flower. And some people are a radiant, colorful flower, sharing their perfume with the world, sharing their radiant colors, their colorful essence, and being of service from that place. So we're all at different stages, but because the majority, as you can see, does not want to open, the majority is a seed buried into the ground. And we, despite being at different stages, no matter where we're at on that evolutionary process, we are part of this journey. We're all in it together. And so we are experiencing the effects of having to be part of a collective field that really is buried deep in darkness and just doesn't want to open at this time. And so there is going to be an intensification, and as there's an intensification of pressure, as that pressure builds and builds and builds, there's going to be a humbling process. There's going to be a humbling process as people are brought to their knees, as people feel more and more afraid, more and more powerless, more and more confused. And what happens is there's going to be more and more tears. And those tears represent the rain, or the rain coming down to the soil, tenderizing the hardened edges of the shell of the seed, represent the tears. And so there has to be tears, there has to be rain to soften, to tenderize the hard shell so that it can finally break open and break free. And you likely know from your own dark nights of the soul that this is what dark nights of the soul are about in your individual journeys, is that we're humbled, we're brought to our knees, we are brought to a place where what we thought was true was not true at all, where our identity has to go through a radical transformation or transfiguration to open up to a whole different level of consciousness that really transcends where we were. And a big part of that transformation is tears, is grief of letting go of who we thought we were. That humbling process is a vital, necessary process of transformation. So your tears were necessary, and my tears were necessary to tenderize the hardened edges, to tenderize the shell that we were hiding in, to tenderize the seed so that we can finally open and bloom into the light of a new day. And so people will feel this increasing pressure, and I invite you to see the pressure as actually compassion ultimately. And yes, the dark forces are playing a big part of creating this amount of pressure. They're playing a key part. And there's other influences as well, but the dark are a driving force for creating this pressure. And it is a strange paradox. It is strange to think of it this way, but there's ultimately compassion in that pressure, because there is a need for there to be that much pressure so that there can be a breaking open. It is needed in the same way you needed your dark and difficult times to help you break open. So it is paradoxical, and we need paradoxical wisdom right now. We need to see things through paradox so that we can not grasp on too tightly to any particular worldview that may limit us from a higher, more complex truth, a higher, more complex perspective that simply doesn't get lost in this is the way it is or this is the way it is, but that we can look at things from many perspectives. That is wisdom. That is spiritual maturity, to see things from that lens of paradox and to hold things from many, many perspectives. And so this is what these times are about. And the degree of resistance that people have, the degree of stubbornness that people have, which is really shelling them in, demands that much pressure. It demands that much pressure. And the thing is that this ignorance, this resistance, this stubbornness, it needs to end. It has been manifesting in so many arenas, in the way our relationship with food, our relationship with animals, our relationship with the soil, with the air, with our children, in our workplaces, politics, the judicial system, medicine. We can't keep going with this level of ignorance. It has to end. This level of stubbornness, this level of resistance to a higher perspective has to end. We cannot keep going this way. And so here we are in this collective rite of passage. Here we are, and we're in it together. We're in it together. And again, it's so important to know, and you likely know this already, but it's good to remember this, that no matter what, no one can quarantine who you are in essence. No one can quarantine the never-ending, the never-beginning wonder of life you are. No one can quarantine the cosmic being you are. No one can take away who you are. No one can take away your sovereignty. It's who you are. And it's important to remember that as we move more and more into this tight, tight grip, this tight, tight pressure that people are increasingly feeling. So I wanted to give this to you because this metaphor came to me in meditation and it really resonated with me. And I hope it's of support to you. I hope it resonates in a way that really brings a bit of extra peace to your heart and helps you feel more confident in these chaotic times that will only intensify, but serve the higher purpose to awaken us, to help humanity as a whole break open and thus break free from the shell that they've identified with for a long, long time. It is time, everyone. It is time. It is time for the dawn of a golden age that will come as we move more and more through this difficult rite of passage. Thanks, everyone, and I wish you well, and please share, please subscribe, please comment, please leave your notifications, and or please select notifications, and I look forward to sharing more with you. Take care.